Hello my friends, today we will take this photo over here. Now this photo is great for beginners because it only uses one light. If you do not have artificial light, you can use window light, and also the props we'll be using, they are very cheap props. I bought mine on Amazon. I will leave the links in the description below, but you can find these props at the dollar store, at Walgreens, Walmart, whatever, any kind of cheap store, you will find these props. So let's set this scene and take an image, and let's just get right into it. I'll be using this table. This is a table from Replica Surfaces. You do not have to use this table. I will use it because I have it. For a base, I'm going to use a green background. If you do not have a green background, you can also use a brown one. And the thought behind it is that this will be my grass. And if you have a brown, that could be, the ground could be brown. And then for the background here, I'll be using this background that has Christmas trees and snow and so on. If you do not have this, this is a board I got from Replica Surfaces. You can use a white one. If you do not have a white board, you can just shoot against the white wall. Make sure that you are further away from the wall. That way the wall will be all blurred out and it will just look like a, winter whiteout. So I'm going to place my background right over here. Like I said, you do not need to have this. You can just use a white background or a white wall. Also, you can print any kind of images. You can print it in 6, 8 pieces of paper and tape them together, because this will be all blurred out, so you won't see that. So that is that. Now I need to bring in my trees, and I have these bottle brush trees. Like I said, I bought these ones on Amazon, but you can buy yours at any kind of cheap store. And I'm going to put the bigger ones in the back, and then gradually put some smaller ones towards the front. So I'm just kind of placing them kind of whichever way. I will rearrange them in a little bit. So right now I'm just kind of putting them on the table. And I have these guys in all kinds of sizes. Some of them are a little bit more blue than green. That's okay. I also have these ones that are kind of yellow. I'll place those in there too. Great. So let's see, something like that. Then I have a small red truck that I also purchased on Amazon. And this is going to be somewhere in here. Let's see. I'm tethering in Capture One so I can see my live view over here. I'm just going to move it closer so I see what I'm doing. I want to get this truck as further from the background because, well, I want that to be blurry, so it needs to be separated. So I'll put this one maybe somewhere in there. Great. Let's see, what else can I put in there? I had some other things. Let me see really quick. I also have a couple of these little tiny presents. I'm going to put this behind the truck. But you know what? Before we do that, let's put in some snow. In a container here, I do have a container of fake snow that I also purchased on Amazon. And I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it on my scene here. Because the background has that snowy scene. I want to make sure that everything just kind of goes together. So we'll make it all snowy. Maybe I'll take my truck away while I put the snow. There we go. And now I'm going to, let's see if I can make some tracks. That was not good tracks. I'm gonna try again. So my truck is going to be something like that. I'll make sure I'm getting some tracks. Maybe this truck came from over here somewhere. Something like that. I don't think you can see the tracks in there, but that's okay, they're there. And now we can put our little three present things in here. Maybe this tree doesn't need to be here, could be here somewhere. That's not bad. All right, I need to put just a little bit of snow because I kind of made some indentations here. So our product is gonna sit in the truck. I want to make sure we can read it. So that is not terrible. Well, let's focus on the product and take a shot. And what we want now, we want to get a black image because we don't want any of this ambient light to affect our image. So I'm just going to take a shot. So I'm having some ambient light that is polluting my scene and I really want to have a complete black image. So I will take my shutter speed from 1/200 to 1/250 of a second. And I'll stay at f4 ISO 100. Let's take another shot. And now we have a black image. This is great. Now let's bring in our light. I will be using a speed light, and like I said, you do not need a speed light. You can use continuous light, you can use window light, you can use whatever you have. But for me, I'll be using this because this is what I have in here. So let's take a shot. Maybe I need the light a little bit closer. Let's see. Something like that, pretty close. My speed light is at 116 power. So let's take a shot. Make sure I'm focused on the brand. Oh, I need to turn on the trigger over here. So let's see now. And that is not bad. Not bad at all. I also, in post-production, I will be adding falling snow because I think that will just make everything a little bit more believable. So that looks good. I might want to put a bounce card on the other side just to kind of bring a little bit of light on the other side of the product. So let's see. Maybe something like that. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's do one maybe in a portrait orientation. See if we can get something different. Let's see now. All right, not bad, not bad. And we'll take one with the bounce card and then we'll go edit them at the computer. All right, great. This is our image and I'm just going to do some very basic edits. I'm going to take the exposure down just a tiny little bit. I am going to add a little bit of contrast, not too much. I'll take the highlights down just a little bit. Let's see, -14. I'll open up the shadows, maybe around 50s, 54, that looks good. The whites I'll take down just a tiny little bit because I will brighten them in Photoshop. So let's see, -13. And I will open up the blacks because I don't want too much contrast. When it snows really hard like this, usually you have a lot of haziness and things are not very sharp with a lot of black in it. I will add some texture, I will add some clarity, and then also I will add some vibrance. Going down, I will sharpen it just a little bit, hold down Option and move it to only sharpen the details and not the background. And then remove chromatic aberration and enable profile correction. And now we are ready to go into Photoshop. Now, before I take this into Photoshop, I do want to take it into Luminar Neo just because I want to add some more fog over here. That will just make it a little bit more believable. So I'll go to Photo, Edit in. This is totally optional. You do not have to do this, but I will go to, let's see, where is my Luminar Neo? Luminar Neo. I will edit a copy of it. And now into Luminar Neo, we want to go into Edit. Like I said, this is optional. I just feel like this is going to make it a little bit more realistic. And then here I will go into Atmosphere, and into Fog, I will just add some fog. And you see how that just gives it a little bit more atmosphere. And I like that the way it is, and I will just click Apply. This is the only thing I will do in Neo. And then once this is saved here into Lightroom, we'll go to Photoshop and finish editing our image. So here we are into Lightroom. This was the image before the fog, and this is with the fog. So I feel like that was an improvement. Now we'll do Command E to send this one into Photoshop. And into Photoshop, the first thing I would like to do is to do Command J to duplicate my layer. And let's see, I want to make the whites wider. So I will go to the selective color, and I will make sure I select the whites here, and I want to desaturate them because I want my whites to be really white. So there you go. This is our before and after, and that is too much. So I will take the opacity down a little bit, maybe something like that. And what else? I want to crop it a little bit. It bothers me, this little blue tree over here. I feel like it's distracting. So I'll go into my crop tool and I'll keep it at original ratio. And I'm just going to bring in this corner just to get rid of that blue tree and accept that. All right, let's see. That is looking better. What else do we need to do? We need to add some snow. For that, I will go into File and Place Embedded. And I have a snow file over here. You can download this free from the internet or get them from, stock images. But the internet is, full of free images of snow. So find yourself an image of snow. This is a pretty small file, but I will stretch it to fit my image. And then I will change the blending mode from normal into screen. And now we have snow. You see, this is the before, this is the after, before and after. I want to remove it just a little bit of the truck and the product. So I will add a layer mask. And then with a brush with black as a foreground color, small flow, maybe 6%. I don't want to remove all the snow. I just want to soften it a little bit, just around here, just like that. And that is looking better. Now I will flatten this image and I will save it, File, Close, Save. It will send it back into Lightroom. And let's see if we're happy with our image or if we need to make any more adjustments. Now I feel like maybe our image is maybe just a little bit too bright, so I'll just bring it down a tiny little bit, something like that. And I think it's looking pretty great. I hope this was helpful and you learned something new. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Skyler Ewing. I'll see you in my next video.